Do you understand the difference between being intelligent, being smart, and being wise? Being smart is having accumulated knowledge that is readily accessible. Intelligence is being able to attain knowledge quickly when you don't have it. Wisdom is intuitively knowing what to do when you do not know, and this is more useful than smarts or intelligence. You do not have to be intelligent to be smart, though it helps. There are many extremely intelligent people who ironically are not very smart. There are many smart people who are only so through hard work and dedication. I'm not trying to just toot my own horn here, I just want to provide others with information that they may use to empower themselves. I'm also not trying to say that everyone needs to be a quantum physicist, programmer, or mathematician, but I think anyone could watch this video dozens of times and learn something new. So if intelligence will help you become smarter faster, how do you become more intelligent? Interestingly, you have to be smart about it. There's a set of knowledge that will allow you to attain knowledge itself faster. First, you must understand and believe that our hardware is all equally capable, barring neurological causes like brain tumors, lesions, or damage. The only difference is in how we have come to learn to use our brains. The Rain Man actually had severe brain damage as an infant. But the good news is that our brains are more like Play-Doh. And then you must further abolish self-limiting beliefs. 1. If you think you can't, you'll never try. 2. Don't be afraid to be wrong. 3. Learn to fall and get up again. Ask why. Here's some examples. Why is this a better solution? Why did they use that slogan? Why do talk show hosts always do that? Why does this person feel that way? Why did they say that? Google 5 whys. It's pretty interesting. Being compassionate and tactful requires a lot of thought and effort, so practicing kindness will help you become more intelligent. And it will reduce friction and frustration in your life as well as in others. So appreciate it when others make the effort. Identify sources of information to reference when you are stuck. Books to read, databases of scientific literature to search, people to ask, meetups to go to, API documentation to reference, Google groups to post to, chat rooms to log into. These are all crucial to identify before you need to reach for help. You must understand which sources are available and when each one is most useful. If you don't do this, you will waste a lot of time. Learn when to ask someone instead of relying on yourself. This is crucial, especially in the business world where time is money and other people can be stingy with their time. Learn when to ask Google and how to search more efficiently. Learn to search with quotes when needed. Learn to be quiet so you can listen to others. Don't look, listen. This takes time to understand, but it's paramount in our data-driven culture. Developers will recognize this as event-driven programming. So use tools like If This Then That and Zapier. Identify the limits of what you do and do not know. Only by identifying where you are and where you want to go can you make progress. Speaking confidently about something that is clearly wrong will make you look dumb. Trust me, I do it all the time. Read. Reading forces you to visualize, use your memory, and use your imagination. After you read, focus on remembering the events and chapters that you read. Read slowly, visualize each situation and detail. Learn new skills. Acting, public speaking, dancing, biking, riding, skating, skateboarding, soccer, yoga, drawing, painting, poetry. Think about how these skills utilize your senses and different parts of your mind. What makes them different? What makes someone good at each activity? What am I good at and what am I not good at? Learn new languages. I can't emphasize this enough. Speaking a language involves all parts of your brain. You must speak the language and preferably in real conversation. So by learning a second language, especially early on, you are adding another layer of abstraction between your ideas and your words. You will fundamentally understand concepts on a more profound level. Learn a new and more complicated writing system. I recommend Japanese kanji, which I'm just getting started with. What is interesting is that they share their kanji writing system with Chinese. So words with similar concepts may have the same symbol in Japanese and Chinese, but they are totally different words. Learn a new keyboard layout. Here's something that involves language and motor skills. Learning a new keyboard layout like Dvorak is a test of memory and neuroplasticity. It is harder than learning to type at first because you have to detach from what you have already learned. Recognize patterns in everything. Learn to play music. Learn music theory and find the patterns. Understand that you can memorize each distinct pattern, a scale, a chord, etc., or you can just memorize the pattern itself and apply it dynamically as you need it. Learn to improvise. Play along with your favorite band. Realize that there really are no wrong notes. There is no right way to improvise. Just listen to what sounds bad and don't do it again. Music theory really helps. Learn to program. It will drastically change how you think. Learn different styles of programming. Learn to understand others' code quickly and learn to collaborate on projects. Learn how to automate the testing of various problems. Practice increasing your typing words per minute. It forces you to think faster. It forces you to pace your thoughts ahead of your actions. Programmers will recognize this as a queuing mechanism. Force yourself to solve problems in different ways. Try combining different senses or different data to solve the same problem. Identify new strategies and learn how to combine them. Understand that memory is a sense and learn how to control it. Pay attention to time. Identify how much time a problem requires and how much time each step will take. This can be extremely difficult. How can you reorder the steps to solve a problem in order to most efficiently utilize your time? What steps are required and which can be reduced? Which steps can be performed simultaneously? Which steps are dependent on others and why? If you're a developer, you may notice that these are actually programming problems. This is one reason learning to code changes the way you think. You're able to methodically deconstruct a large problem into small pieces. Notice the little things. Slow down and take your time. It will identify relationships that you missed previously. Examine situations from more than one perspective. Being compassionate requires that you see things from others' viewpoints. Many math problems require you to convert between coordinate systems, like relativity, for example. Learn to read upside down. Learn math, and especially advanced math. You don't necessarily need to get the answers right. Just understand what the math is used for, how it's different from other math, and how it can be combined to solve more complicated problems. Understand that your brain is already capable of calculus, linear algebra, Bayesian networks, statistics with tensors, and more. Understand minimization and maximization of functions. Understand analytical and numerical methods. Understand that learning is easier than unlearning. You learn through conditioning your mind via experience. Neural networks are the basis for learning in the brain. This is huge because if you understand how the brain works, you can hack it to learn faster. Read current events and news articles. Don't invest time reading the comments. Okay, that's a little harsh, but recognize when you're wasting time. I recommend Ars Technica and Gizmodo. Question everything, but in a healthy way. Learn to process information faster. Read faster, write faster, think faster. Find shortcuts and creative ways to save time. This is a minimization problem, remember that? How do I minimize the amount of time required to do X, Y, and Z? But understand that the fastest and cheapest way isn't necessarily the best. Clear your mind of information that isn't necessary for the task at hand. Solve puzzles and play challenging games. Crosswords, Rubik's Cubes, anagrams, chess, and literal puzzles. Understand the difference between deductive and inductive problem-solving strategies. You must learn to enjoy these challenges. Hint, read Ethics by Aristotle. Find opponents who are better than you and identify why they are better. Identify the differences between games. The difference in correlation between the rules and the strategies of different games. And most importantly, identify what makes a particular game fun. Use your imagination and be creative. Get to the meta. Meta means before or within. Abstract your knowledge into functional units that can be applied to many situations. The more you learn, the faster you learn. Learn a lot of skills and you'll be surprised at how much they overlap. Set goals for yourself. Identify what is worth learning and what isn't. Some things are just a waste of neurons. Some fields of knowledge are brittle. They'll change in a month or be outclassed by new tech or involve proprietary technology. But they require just as much effort to learn. What will be relevant in a year, in a decade, in a century? What knowledge is universally significant, and what knowledge is relevant to your goals? Use Coursera and edX. These are free classes online from universities all over the world, including Ivy League institutions like Harvard and Yale, also including other schools like Caltech and Stanford. These are great schools, and these classes are great. Understand that knowledge is more valuable than a degree. However, it's not really a replacement for the college experience, but it is a great place to learn, and it's free. Stop wasting your time. Don't just watch TV or get on Facebook. Don't rely on excuses. I can't learn that because I'm not smart enough. I don't need to learn that right now. I need to buy a keyboard before I can learn to play music. I need to buy that software before I can make music. Understand that less is more here. The less complicated your problem is, the easier it is to learn. Once you get that keyboard and software, now you need to configure it, and that takes time, and yeah. So focus on what matters first. Maybe you've got a friend with a studio, who knows? Don't forget to rely on others. People that are more intelligent sometimes tend to forget to reach out for help. Why try to become more intelligent? To free yourself from the world around you, which would prefer you to be dependent. Most important, surround yourself with smart people. If you're the smartest person in the room, find another room. And there's a corollary to this. Disdain those who have a need to instill ignorance in others. They will bring you down.